Kindly introduce yourself.
So my name is Joab. I'm a kidney transplant recipient. I've had the kidney for 6 years, going to 7 this year. So super excited. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a bit about your kidney story.
So my kidney story starts in 2015 March, and I just suddenly started feeling unwell. So the thing about kidney disease, it's a silent disease. You don't have, like, the symptoms are very, like, I'd call them normal. Like, you have no appetite, and I was tired, and that's how I started going to a nurse. I went to a nurse practitioner before I went to a doctor, and the nurse practitioner actually thought it was ulcers. So I was treated for ulcers, but the ulcers didn't get any better. So I ended up going back for another review to another doctor, and this time they thought it was H. pylori. So I started now almost getting medication for H. pylori, and the last minute I was asked to do a blood test, and I believe that's what saved my life, because that blood test now showed that my hemoglobin was 3.8. It was very low, and I was called on Good Friday in 2015 and told you need to go to the ER. You need to go to the ER because a HB of 3.8 is very low. So rushed to the ER, and that is when I was admitted to the hospital, and I was told, hey, do you know what kidneys do? We think you have either acute kidney disease or chronic. They're not sure at the time, but for right now they had to stabilize me. So went to the ER, and they put in the CVC catheter in my neck to start dialysis. So that is how I found out I have chronic kidney disease, because after all the tests they did, they told me that my kidneys had shrunk and that it's very unlikely that they'll come back because you can see the normal size of a kidney. And I was told then that I would need to do dialysis the rest of my life, or I'd need a kidney transplant. That was maybe 2 days after being admitted in hospital. Yeah.
How did you feel the moment you were told you need a transplant?
The moment I was told I need a transplant, I remember it felt surreal. I had heard about kidney transplants, but you never think you'd be the one who will need one. That's how it felt. So in that hospital room, I remember it was a counselor who came to tell me that it's chronic kidney disease and that I need a transplant, and that there are many people who've lived with kidney transplants, so it's not something that is, it's not a death sentence, something you can live with very long. So she would tell me that, and I just look at her like, hey, me, I'm a kidney transplant. Like, it's just never registered at that point that I would need a kidney transplant. And then the next thing was, who am I going to ask? So it was that anxiety of, hey, I need a transplant. I need a kidney from someone. Yeah, so I guess for me, I would say it was a lot of information. So I detached a bit, and then I just started thinking, hey, this thing of a kidney transplant, you never think you'll be the one who needs one. Yeah.
So, how did you decide on who your donor would be?
So I'm very lucky that my sister was the one who reached out and told me that if she's eligible to give a kidney, that should give me one of her kidneys to live on. And that conversation, because I'm very close with my sister, was a very organic one. It was a call, and she just told me that, yeah, if she's eligible, she'll do the tests, and we'll see if she can give me one. So I feel I guess, the minority here, where you have someone who's interested in giving you a kidney or an organ. And so I started thinking, now, how do other people have these conversations about donating a kidney or an organ? Yeah, so for me, my sister reached out and she was very forward about it. So I'm happy that she did so.
What are some myths and misconceptions about organ donation that you'd like to talk about?
There are many. So since I started advocacy, I think the biggest one is when someone donates, they won't be well. they won't be well after that. Things will go like wrong after that, and they're gonna now have to get a transplant for that organ they donated or whatever they donated, and it's been a big one. And then also for since my sister is the one who donated, that she won't be able to get a child. That's a big myth. So the donors, even the ladies, they're able to get kids after that. So I'd like to dispel that. I don't know if this is a myth or not, but there are a lot of people who think when you tell them uh, you, someone who's on dialysis needs a transplant, they ask if it's both kidneys. The moment you're on dialysis, both your kidneys have failed. There's no way you have one and you need dialysis, because on transplant, the donor is left with one, the recipient has one, and the kidney grows to now fill the capacity. So the kidney is an amazing organ, and any organ, I guess, because even a liver grows, but the kidney is able to grow and support the body, even though it's one. So those are the main ones I've interacted with in terms of organ donation. Yeah, that's what I'd like to talk about.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about kidney disease or organ donation?
Yeah, kidney disease is a journey. Like I said, it's a very silent disease. Yeah, you don't feel you have it until the last stage. So there are 5 stages to kidney disease. And right at the end, I think fourth or fifth is when you start to feel sick. So I'd like to really urge people to go for testing. Even from your urine, you can tell if you have kidney disease, or a simple blood test could prevent or even slow down your progression of chronic kidney disease. So to people out there, I'd like to tell them, get tested. Kidney disease, more of it is very silent, and more than not, it's late by the time you find out. Like myself, I crash landed, and you just need dialysis and a transplant. We don't know until the end. So that's one thing I'd like to say. In regards to organ donation, yes, I'd like Kenya to be more proactive about it as a country. I'd like more conversations around it. I like that there's a bill in Parliament around organ donation and opening up the donor pool. So even this project, I really hope that it helps push that along so that people are more aware of it, and that when you die, your organs can help someone. So let's create a safe environment for people to donate their organs, whatever it is. Yeah, so that's what I'd like to say about kidney disease and about organ donation.